Today we read an old interview with Little Swastika. Someone who made like crazy tattoos, I would say. But who I am to say that? Little Swastika interview, take one. Hey you all, it's me Little Swastika, welcome back to my channel. Here everything is about alternative kind of life, people who are living more normal than the rest of the world outside. The weird, creepy world we kind of avoiding here. I am kind of avoiding here. So today we talk about tattooing. We talk about my old ego Little Swastika, who was kind of the character I lived for 15 years in my first chapter of life. Some of you know I was a very famous and very well-known tattooist, almost a legend. We don't know, but that weird guy called Little Swastika made some really weird and crazy stuff, big stuff. Today I will just start the first episode of reading interviews with Little Swastika. So let's just dive in. I was building a new room for my daughter, and while this I found like this old magazine. Or what means old magazine? It's from November 2013. Okay, it's quite old but not too old. So let's just read a little bit. It was more like a small interview, like 6 pages I think, yes. So I can quick show you. Let's just start reading. Little Swastika, private studio, Tengen, Germany. Oh, that was already in Psyland, so it wasn't that old. It's not that old. I think it was just after I moved to Psyland, because I was start giving interviews then again. So, what year did you start tattooing? 9 years ago. Did you have any special training? All comes natural, never planned to go in that direction or wanted to learn it. Why don't you participate in conventions? I really hate all this hype around tattooing, especially science conventions are a place of mainstream. Heaps of people spattle around who makes the coolest stuff and shit like that. Tattooing should be for you and your client. Somewhere in a quiet space where no one bothers me and I have the best options in any way to make the best out of a tattoo. So yeah, that is what psyland stands for. This is what this place stands for, because here I always had like all the quiet I need, all the peace I need, all the mayhem, the craziness, the absurdity, the surrealistic mind state I needed for making whatever I felt to do. It was also a place, it helped a lot my clients to bring themselves in a mindset where they really can let go and let just things happen. Where did you apprentice? Life and myself. I just experienced most of my own, with an open mind and bright eyes. I never was think that most common techniques is the best. And so I tried all with anything, and I figured out what's the best for me and for what I want to do. Later I got deeper into machine building to have faster machines so I can make bigger tattoos. I normally never take more than 3 sessions for my back pieces, and so heaps of people are motivated to get even bigger work. I love to make big and heavy tattoos. Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I had. What I loved. I love to make big stuff. Yes, I always love to grow with my techniques and let like every progression around let progress my tattoo skills. And my tattoo skills progressed my techniques and my equipment and everything around. I never believed so much in getting crazy equipment, but I believe to build equipment by yourself, so you know your tools and you crafted your tools. And everything just runs together and it's one piece of the puzzle. What artists and tattooists do you admire? I never get inspired heaps by other artists, especially not tattooists. I like super heavy tattoos and in a similar way super technical geometric tattoos. Bold, black, abstract. I just create a mix of what I like and try to get as far away from tattooing as I can. I want it to look like a painting, not a tattoo. Yeah, that was always my biggest idea, was to create what I have here everywhere around, what all my art is about, what all this weirdness in my mind is about, and just kind of create it on skin. But on the other hand, I tried to use the tattoo machine as much as I could as a paintbrush. So as much as I could take the machine and see what I do on the skin, and with that what I do on the skin, I created own techniques which I kind of used as an abstract way of painting on the skin. You also work in other mediums like body modification. How does that fit in with your artistic style? Doesn't need to fit in. Most of my art is not really related to body modification, but in another way it's a lot related to it because that's my life. And all my inspiration and creations come from my life and from influences out of it. Yeah, that's what I still 100% believe, because everything what shaped me, shaped my mind, shaped my art. The life I lived shaped my own reality, my own perspective, and my art is nothing else than my reality and my perspective. And so was tattooing to me. What's been one of your favorite pieces to tattoo? I always start with back pieces. That's the only way to start with me. And then I love to continue, make the tattoos even bigger. The bigger the better. That's why I started expanding over peoples. 2 years ago I started with my first double back piece, and I do a lot of them now. I just finished my first tribal back piece. They fried tribal back piece. I think, what the fuck? But I think it means triple back piece. So I just finished my triple back piece, and now I'm planning a project with 4 people's back. So there is something bigger possible than just a bodysuit. So for heaps of people I seem strange that I do not take sleeves or legs because I say that's too small. But when you work only over backs and even bigger, your relations change. And for sure I make sleeves. I love to add 2 sleeves to a back piece and to let my tattoo grow. I just do not publish it, and I do not take sleeves to start a project. So a back piece is never something to pose or to show. It's always just for yourself. I don't want the people who get my work because it's cool. I want them to get my work because they like it for themselves and not for other reasons. In the moment I was become a lot more famous, a lot of more known, a lot of people recognized my work. In that moment I trying to not want it be that kind of mainstream tattooist that just people come to me because they know I'm famous. Or let's say I made my little filters so that I kind of sorting out people who won't come because out of that reasons to me. And it worked very well for me for many years till the bitter end. And you see how professional I read this, like a moderator, because I'm trying to pretend not to read my own words. Oh, it's crazy because I stuck so much into this tunnel of tattooing, and sometimes I read words from me and they so long ago and they still like 100% like I would feel it right now. What drew you to your particular style of tattooing? It just happens. The more I got freedom from my clients, the more it was going in my direction. And the more I went into my direction, the more people wanted it. Over the years, my tattooing skills got better and better. I got way faster and built my machines even faster and with more power. And so my style was changing over the years. But there was never a plan of, I want to do this or that. I just paint, that's all. I create all my tattoos directly on the body. No plans, no sketches, nothing. I just speak with the people and create the design of their ideas. I never know exactly how a tattoo will look finished, or what will be the exactly next step. Yeah, it's very silly. It is very silly, but also not. when someone new come to me, I always was tell them, you know, when you come to me, I don't can tell you what I do. I not can tell you what you will get. I not can tell you what will happen because I have no idea. Everything with me is spontaneous and chaotic and crazy, and somewhere in between this, you know, you really had to let go. Because over the years, I learned to let go. I learned to trust my instinct, trust my intuitive feeling for my own art. And when someone wanted to get a piece by me, he had to get a piece by me, not get in control, because I never see myself much as this. You come, you want this, you get this. I don't know, I just created. I love the creating freedom, the expression of what just happened. And I always try to take the idea of the client, take the mind of the client, talk with them, get them known a little bit, their visions, and I try to like cross it with my vision. And I know they come because they love what I do, and they usually had a little hustle to come here, especially here in nowhere where we have psyland, like really travel far, travel out of everything. And I made a lot of things so that it's not so easy for the clients to just, you know, walk in the studio and get a tattoo. And yeah, I think tattooing always was something very natural to me. It had to feel and be natural. Is there a tattoo that you haven't done yet and you are dying to do? Sure, when the day comes and I'm at the end, I have no new inspiration, no new goals to reach or bigger projects I want to realize, I will quit tattooing. I don't know yet where the limits of possibilities is in tattooing, in size and the ways I want to do them. There are still painting techniques I would like to do on skin or otherwise. And yeah, this was before the third dimension, this interview. I was not then. I think I made this interview just somewhere before the love tattoo. It is weird because there is still the love tattoo inside. I actually don't know if I personally was give this interview, because I found many interviews from myself over many years where I never was giving it. This kind of looks like, because the quality of the love tattoo of the picture is very bad. It really much looks like they took that picture out of the internet. All the pictures are like in not the best quality. Normally I was giving very good files to magazines when I was make interviews, but as I say, I found many interviews over many years which I never was giving. They took just like, you know, take two other interviews I was give and like puzzle it together. That pretty much looks a little bit like this. Also, normally I give the pictures together with the words, so it not makes much sense, but it doesn't matter, because when I read it, I know they are my words. I can read them. And yeah, it's funny to think back what was my plans before I made even 10 times bigger stuff, which I ever planned from. Wow, it's so funny to read. To read that, know backwards and know what happened after. How was building and modifying tattoo machines helped your tattooing skills? You are just as fast and good as your machines. Sure, a good tattooist can also work with bad equipment and still make good stuff. But with equipment that is perfect for him, he can reach much more. And in an easier, faster way. For me, power is all. Most of my tattoos are made with a 15 magnums or bigger. That needs power to use. And yeah, over the last years of my tattooing career, I only used the 15 magnum. That was like my to-go tool. Back then I was still experimenting and I was go a lot more in tech. And in the last years of my tattooing career, I was going very minimalistic. I made kind of everything. I made body suits with a 15 magnum, entire body suits with a single needle. One machine, one needle, a full body. And I love to go very minimalistic. I used one machine for the last 6 years of my tattoo career. One machine. No stuff around, and a machine I built myself. So It's not much you need, you know, it's really not much you need. I don't like all this fancy tattoo stuff, this fancy tattoo creams, this stuff. I never had any creams or anything for healing of my tattoos. I advise my clients to just don't do anything, just to naturally let it heal. I used like the cheapest stuff I found. I used the cheapest black, the cheapest needles. I use Dettol instead of special stencil stuff. I use just normal markers, all that stuff. I just try to be as minimalistic as I can be and still express myself as much as I can. Because as an artist, I know expressing yourself in a minimal way, it's much more difficult than having like a lot of possibilities. So I kind of try to level in between somewhere there. What made you want to represent the positive aspect of the swastika, going back to its original meaning, given that is such a risky symbol in today's culture? Does the symbol appear often in your work? I was fighting for the reclamation of the swastika many years ago, and I was using it a lot in my tattoos. But nowadays a lot of people know about the swastika and do the same. I do not make a big deal out of it anymore. I got my name from France many years ago and I still keep it. There's nothing negative about a swastika when you know it and have an objective There's nothing negative about a swastika when you know about it and have an objective look at it. So it's nothing bad. Yeah, the swastika, I used it a lot and I start not using it so much anymore. I think the last 6-7 years of my tattoo career, you really not see much pieces with a swastika and maybe in a pattern, but even then, most of the pattern work like this or like this, I kind of start basing on a hexagon base. That means on 3 angles. So it's always like 60 degrees in between because it gives me much more possibilities to create pattern than just having like a cross, what is like the base of a swastika. And that's why you just don't find much swastika stuff from me anymore over many years. What doesn't mean that I don't like swastikas. Here everything is full of swastika stuff over everywhere out of the world. I still keep my name till the end. The only reason why I started now with a new name is because I really wanted let go from little swastika. I wanted close that chapter. I want to start fresh. I didn't want to use my famous well-known name to start something new. I wanted to start with a name no one knows. Fuck. It's time for fuck. So yeah, that's what it was basically. Here you see like the love tattoo. You see, I think that was my double back number 3 on a Swedish couple. The love tattoo was done on 4 Italian people. This was kind of one of the first crazy abstract pieces I done on a friend of mine. He come and say, do whatever you want on the back. And that's what he got. And that was an idea, and it's funny because he was just coming back to psyland the last few days. This piece was done in my old gallery, and he started making the finish of his bodysuit with Basti. But back then I tried to kind of taking a very old Japanese symbol and make it in a fresh way. Yeah, that's I don't know where's this, but it's also a very old tattoo. I had a small period when I started trying with like double layering stuff, so it gives like this 3D illusion. And as you can see, all the tattoos here have a lot of geometric stuff in. So that was the time when I was still making motifs and when I used still a lot of geometric art, breaking the mix and like kind of I don't know, being somewhere there. That was that part of my tattoo career. And later on I start going much more abstract. Much more abstract doesn't mean just like brutal and simple, or just like with no plan or wild. Abstract means that you play on a more minimalistic level, playing with shades of scratches, of paintbrushes, of the different things you can make with a tattoo machine. I still call it the softness within that brutality, because no people call it the brutal black, the brutal whatever tattooing, abstract tattooing. I don't like this stuff. I call it kritzel kratzel because my daughter always was kidding that it's just like kritzel kratzel. And it was very soft for me to make this kind of tattoos. It's very soft. My tattoos always healed very, very fast because they was very soft. It's the softness within that brutality. That's kritzel kratzel what it was. And what still happen here in Psyland a lot. And for all of you who still want some pieces like this, all the people's working here, they really have the same mindset as me. They live this, they grow in here, they got taught by me, they still get supervised by me. I watch over their backs and I slap their fingers when they don't do it right. And especially all the bigger projects, I still give a lot of advices in like graphic aspects, or like bringing my influence in here, because I'm still living here and tattooing is still a big part of my life, because I still love tattooing. I love seeing beautiful pieces going out of Psyland every day, and I love the atmosphere here. I love the clients coming here. I just love it. I love it, and it's not the reason why I stopped tattooing that I don't love it anymore. It's just that I was make so much and I was at the end of my path and I wanted to have a new chance for something new. And now I reach a lot of you out there, and I will show a lot more beauty in this world with my art, hopefully, and my philosophy of tattooing, my philosophy of life, my philosophy about what Psyland and this place is, and what alternative kind of life should be, could be, and hopefully will be. So that's it from me for today. I hope you all liked it. When yes, give me some feedback, let some comments, likes, give me your subscriber button action going, cluck, 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 subscribe, put all bell notification on, and allow YouTube to send you information when I post something, because then you always get hit up with the newest videos, because you get like 2 videos every week. That's it from me. Bye bye, you sneakers. Give me some fog and I disappear in the night.